Hey everybody, we are excited to announce that we've teamed up with Boondocks to make our very own Native landing gear. And this is going to be an instructional video on how to install this kit into the Native groove tracks as opposed to going through the boat. Pretty cool, a little bit different. Your kit will come with your mounting brackets, your crossbar, the two wheel legs, two no deflate wheels, all the mounting hardware, so that you guys can put this all together. And anyway, we're excited about it. This is the tools that you'll need for installation of the Native Watercraft Landing Gear are a drill with a 5mm drill bit, a number 3 screwdriver, a number 2 screwdriver, a 3/8 inch wrench, a little socket style is actually the best for this application, and a 4mm hex head. Okay, since we're going into the groove track, we actually want to put an extra screw into the Native groove track to add a little extra support. So loosen up your fittings, move those out of the way, and when you look in, you'll see there's a screw here, but there's not a screw right here. So what we're going to do is use that 5mm drill, and we're going to drill a hole here, and then in the same location on this other track. So you've got a screw here, but we need to drill that one hole there, and we're going to put a new support screw in there. All right, here we go. And you can just go right in the middle of that slot. Doesn't really matter. Bingo. So a little tip, put the screw on the end of the number 2 screwdriver, and then you can kind of slide it in there, and then you'll tip it up with that screwdriver when it gets to the hole. So once you've got the 2 screws in place, then you can open up the 5.5 inch hatch, and we'll use the wrench up under there to put the washer and nut on the back end of that screw. It's a little bit of a reach, but it's not too bad once you get there. And then if you use your hand at first, you can get it started on the screw, and then come back with the wrench. And then once you've got it on there with your hand, you can use the wrench to get it nice and snug down in there. Okay, next we're going to mount the landing gear itself. So take one of the landing gear pieces, and you're going to go ahead and put the set screws in the bottom. Those are your 4mm set screws. And those just thread right into the bottom. And you don't want to go in all the way, you just want to put them in part way so that you can adjust them into the crossbar once you've got it all set in place. But it's a little easier to get them started while you've got them off the groove tracks. You can actually run them in until you just start to see them inside the extrusion. That'll make it all a little easier. All right, then we're going to run 2 sliders in. And you'll spread them out just a little bit, and then you can mount one of the landing gear parts.
We want this.
Yep. So obviously the 2 mounting holes will go over the groove track, and then the length will stick into the middle. Just run it down in there. You can probably use a screwdriver or your fingers just to get it started. Just line up the slider with the holes, and you're pretty much there. Get that one loosely mounted. And you can snug it up a little bit, but you want to keep the whole system loose until you get everything positioned, and then you can start tightening things up. Once you've got the red crossbar in, you can put the other piece of landing gear on the red crossbar. And then line up your holes and put in your screw and washer, and then line that up with your sliders that are in the groove track. Nice. And what you're going for with the crossbar is that you want it to be equal across there, so you want to engage both of the set screws that are underneath. So if one of the set screws doesn't feel like it's engaging, you'll want to slide the crossbar so that both set screws on both parts are engaging. You can actually use this other threaded accessory mount as a way to make sure you're even. So here you can see there's a little bit of red there, and then when I look over here, there's no red. So there I can kind of balance it out and know that I've got the rod centered on the landing gear. All right, next thing, you want to tighten down both of those set screws. It can be a little awkward underneath there. Get those good and snug on both sides, all 4 of them. And then we can kind of position the final screw settings and lock it in place. All right, and then you can kind of slide it into place. You should have adjusted most of the way, but then the last little bit will sort of be taken up by the slots in the mounting area. And we recommend that you just butt the slider right up to the edge. That'll be a good strong attachment point. And then crank it down in place. You'll want to use a number 3 screwdriver to really give it a nice firm hold. And once you've got that, then we're ready to assemble the wheels and legs. Wheels, you can just pull that pin out of one side there, out of the outside of there, and then the wheel just slides right on. No big deal. And just put that pin back in. It's a little stiff, so you kind of have to wrench that thing on there. And just clip that pin back on there. And there actually is a left and a right on these legs, but you'll kind of figure it out when you put it in place. When you put it in, and it's resting up on the back of the boat in a good, comfortable position, then you know you've got it right. So therefore you're in the up position, and then if you undo the set screw there and lower it down, there you're in the wheel position. You're ready to roll. All right, let's assemble that other one. So if it's not feeling like it's lining up just right, just switch sides, and it could be that you have the left and right mixed up on these legs. There's the down position. All right, now you're ready to roll. Looking good. Super excited. Landing gear.